Right around the 1st of August, I had Mr. Mike Skimmerhorn on the program. He is the lead vocalist and bass player of the Mighty Swine, a very cool band out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm lucky to have Mike back on the program today. How you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a nice sunny day down here in Ohio, and looking forward to getting on the road here tomorrow.
Yeah, you got a big tour coming up here, doing the North American tour with metal goddess DORO from Germany. How'd you manage that?
God love her. She just liked the band. We made some contacts, back and forth, and she said, let's go with it. And we couldn't ask for a better tour to really get this new album out there for the fans.
Yeah, it should be pretty cool, actually, having the Mighty Swine out there on tour with DORO. And DORO, of course, she's got quite a career doing, I think, 4 albums with Warlock, and I think she's had like 12 solo albums since then. So she's been around a while. And I'll tell you, for a woman who's around 50 years of age, she still looks pretty damn good.
She's a beautiful girl, and she can sing with the best of them too. She works hard. She's out there all the time touring. So it was a great connection for us, and it's amazing, actually amazing. So
yeah, it should be a good time for you guys, I would think. And the tour kicks off Friday in Wisconsin.
Friday in Racine, Wisconsin, at the Route 20 Outback or Outhouse. Yeah, the Outhouse, that's what it's called. And the first leg of the tour is going to be a little bit brutal for us. It's a lot of driving in between gigs. We're looking forward to it. We're really excited. Everybody is just really stoked and really pumped up for it. So we hope it goes well.
Now, how long of a set do you normally perform when you do an opening slot like this?
Our sets, depending on the venue, is going to range anywhere from 25 minutes to 45 minutes. So it just depends on the promoter for each club and how many bands are actually on the bill.
So there's some local support on the bill at different clubs depending on where you're at too. Then.
Yeah, there's 2 or 3 local bands on each bill, so we're going to see how all that goes, and it should go well, and hopefully we'll rock their socks off, so to speak.
All right, sounds good. So people definitely going to get their money's worth. Not only seeing the Mighty Swine and DORO, there's going to be some local support on there as well. So you definitely get your money's worth. But just a little history of the band. I know we talked about it briefly last time we talked, but the people that are listening today that didn't catch our first interview, why don't you give a little breakdown about the Mighty Swine, how you guys got started, and bring them up to speed to today?
Sure. Basically, back in 07 or early 08, I was kind of bored, and I wanted to get a new band together, and I really just started this band to bust around some clubs here in town, and that lasted about a year until I decided that I really didn't like doing that, and started writing again, and we put out an album in 09, our very first album, a full-length CD, and that we did some touring on that, did a single in 2011 with the Lust video, and things kept progressing from there, and of course this year we put out Last Man Standing, and it's just been growing and blooming from there.
Now, how's been the reception so far with the radio and the fans since it's came out? I think it will come out around the end of May.
Yeah, it came out May 20th, and we've gotten maybe 25 or 30 reviews, and I think there was really just one bad review from all of them. So I think everybody that likes this genre of music is really going to enjoy this band.
I'd have to agree. I'm a rocker myself, and I'm a pretty tough cookie when it comes to critiquing something. I've been around the block a few times, and I'll admit, you guys rock. I am not only a DJ playing your music, I am a fan.
Well, thank you. We appreciate that. We really do.
You're not only in the Mighty Swine, you do other things as well. I know you had a band, CJSS, a while back, and you also play with David Chastain.
I've played with David most of my life. I actually joined up with him, and I was a greenhorn kid. I was about 21 years old, and they were 7 or 8 years ahead of me, and I joined up with them in a band called Spike And it just grew from there. From Spike, we formed CJSS, and then Mike Farney from Shrapnel Records got involved and formed the Chastain Band. I was fortunate enough to was asked to play bass on that stuff too. So yeah, I can't really complain about my career. I have a lot of music out there that I'm either performing on or involved in the writing process and all that stuff. So.
Well, you definitely have had a good career, and I'll tell you, the first time I heard Chastain, I think "We Must Carry On," I think is a song I heard. And I'm thinking to myself, who the hell is this? Well, wow. The voice of Leather and the guitar playing of Dave, like, holy crap. I mean, this is some good stuff.
Back in the day, it took off like a wildfire, so we were really pleased about all that. So.
All right, now you've been rocking for a while. Who are some of your influences? Now, growing up as a kid in Ohio, what made you decide to play bass, and who did you look up to?
Well, I come from a family of musicians. My mom's side of the family did a lot of playing with in the country music industry, so I was around it my entire youth. So when I decided to start playing and stuff, most of my friends were already playing guitar, so they were like, we need somebody to play bass, and it looked good to me. So my first guitar was actually a bass, and it just kept going from there, and I actually enjoy playing bass. And some of my earlier influences, I would say, would be like Rainbow and Deep Purple and Jethro Tull. Dio's a great influence on me. Halford, Judas Priest, bands like that and such. So
you definitely like the classic hard rock bands that have done it rather well over the years. Well, who are some of your favorite bass players?
Some of my favorite bass players. Stanley Clark was an early influence. Gaddy Lee and Rush is an influence, especially since I'm a lead vocalist and a bass player at the same time. That guy is absolutely amazing. John Paul Jones, the Zeppelin stuff and all that. Yeah, I'd say I'm a traditional bass player. I'm not really a fancy bass player. I really don't try to be. I'm more of a pocket guy, and it's seemed to work my entire career. So I'll just keep on going on with it,
Oh, definitely. I mean, you got a good driving bass style, and I'll tell you, the new album, Last Man Standing, it's a good driving record. Had a nice talk with Stacy yesterday. Hell of a nice guy. In fact, I wouldn't mind just having him on the show just to talk about music in general. I mean, the guy is definitely a rocker and a music nut, just like I am.
He is a music nut and a purist, that's for sure. He is... he tells me where places that I used to play at times that I go, I didn't know I played there, and he reminds me of things like that. So it's funny sometimes.
Now, how'd you meet Stacy? How'd you hook up with him and get him in the band?
Stacy and I actually talked even before the Swine was formed. He had an original project going on, and they were looking for a bass player, but it didn't really pan out at the time. And then about a year and a half or 2 years ago, we connected again on Facebook and all that stuff. And I was looking to reform the Swine, and I sent him some material, and he sent some material back, and I liked his flavor and what he did, and here we are.
Well, he definitely is a good player, and I was talking to him yesterday about his solo on Last Man Standing itself, the song and the tapping on there. He told me he wasn't sure how you would feel about that, but myself listening to it, I think he did a great job, and even the video, it looks cool in the video. Wouldn't you agree on that?
Yes, absolutely. His lead playing is great. In this day and age, it's really tough to find lead guitar players that actually want to play lead, So being that this is a traditional metal band and all, it worked out quite well. So we're real happy with the way the album came out. It was a tough process. We had our drummer in Nashville doing the drums, and he lives about 150 miles north of me, so, we had to do a lot of file sharing and stuff, but... it worked out in the end, so we really have no complaints.
Now, speaking of drummers, I guess Rory's no longer with you in the band, and he was probably intended more to be just the studio guy?
Well, that's the way it worked out, but the logistics of it all made it tough to really. I mean, we really wanted to be well rehearsed for this tour, and he just really couldn't make the commitment to come up here and spend two or 3 weeks doing the rehearsals and stuff. So we found Rick Martellino in Columbus area, and he's doing a great job, and I really don't see any issues, and I think it's all going to work out quite well.
Yeah, I was checking Rick's Facebook page out last night. Looks like he's been playing quite a long time. He's got quite a few different sets I've seen over the years that he's been playing. If he can play the parts similar to what Rory did, you guys got yourself a hell of a good drummer, because I really like Rory's style. The double bass work that he did on your album, it's tasty. It's not overdone. I mean, some bands, drummers, they want to be Neil Peart and Dave Lombardo all combined into one. But what Rory seemed to have done, speaking as a drummer myself, he's complimented what you guys are doing, and I think it works out so damn well. So if Rick can do the same thing with you guys got a winning band.
Rick nailed most of the songs, his first 2 or 3 times through each rehearsal. So, I mean, it's going to be a great show, and Rick's going to do a great job. And, we're stoked. We're well rehearsed, and we're ready to go. So
I'm just a little disappointed you don't have anything coming up in upstate New York around Rochester or Buffalo. Hopefully next time you guys are out and about, you'll play something closer to my area so I can come out and check you guys out.
Well, we do have a few days off. If you can find us a date, we'll come over.
I know. Bob has been talking to me about that, and I have fed some information back to him, so hopefully he can put something together for you on that. What about the future of the Mighty Swine? Is there another album in the works? Have you thought about that yet with Stacy, about doing something like that?
Absolutely. We're going to see how this tour goes, and we're hoping we get a great response from all the touring, and I can see us doing an album next year or so. It's just going to depend on all the circumstances of financing and all that good stuff,
Yes, unfortunately, it is a business. A lot of people don't understand the music business, how much of a business it is, but you need the money to make the money, and sometimes you don't make that money back. How's it looking so far? Are you guys making any money on this album yet, or is it still in the early stages?
It's still in the early stages yet. It's selling. CD sales, regardless of your genre in the United States, is it's all changed over the last 10 or 20 years. So you have to get out and tour. That's all there is to it. And our ultimate goal is to get over and do some festivals in Europe too. So we really think the European market is more favorable to our music as opposed to the States here.
You might be right. There's some local guys around this area, the Rods. I'm sure you're familiar with the band, the Rods. I know they go over to Europe every year and do festivals over that way, and they always get a great response. But and it's a nice vacation, too, to go over there, I guess.
Sure, why not? Yeah, absolutely.
Geez, you play Cincinnati or play London? I don't know.
London sounds good to me.
Alrighty, so we didn't talk about Jeff Tong, your other guitarist. Stacy was saying that them guys have worked together in the past, have known each other in a while. Now, were you familiar with Jeff before Stacy brought him to you, or was it?
No, we were. I've always wanted to have a 2-guitar band. Being a 3-piece band, it's cool and all that stuff, but it's a tough sell, especially since I'm pretty much standing in mid-stage and it's just me and my bass, there's not a lot of animation that I can do while I'm trying to sing all these songs and stuff. So not only does a second guitarist help fill in the blanks and all that stuff, it does add more to the show. And that's one of the reasons I wanted a second guitar player. So Stacy actually had Jeff in mind for quite some time, and we finally tricked him into it, and it's working out well.
Very good, very good. Now, the tour kicks off on Friday, runs through, the 25th right now in Amityville?
Yes. Runs from Racine, Wisconsin, up to Minnesota, Chicago, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Toronto, Quebec, Montreal, New York City, Philly, and yes, it concludes in Long Island there.
Very good, very good. Covering a good portion of the Northeast, including Canada. What's on the horizon after this tour? Do you have anything else lined up right now or that you can talk about, or is there still things on the planning stages?
We've got a potential to do a pretty good-sized show here in Ohio. We're still trying to work the details out on that. We've already talked to the DORO folks. They have a spring tour, so a pretty large spring tour at that. So we're hoping that everything works out that we can get on that spring tour too, which actually starts in March. So I don't know if we're going to have much time in between to do any recording or things like that, but we'll see. We'll just have to play it by ear after this tour and see what works.
Well, hopefully this tour right now will go well for you, and you will get on that spring tour, because definitely playing with DORO will get you out in front of some people that probably never seen or heard of the Swine before. Be a feather in your cap to do so.
We think it's a great matchup, too, because the folks that like the DORO music is more of a traditional stuff like what we're playing, and we think it's a good match.
Last time we talked, you were gearing up for Dirt Fest. Now, how did that go for you guys?
Dirt Fest went, I will say, okay. There's a big generation gap between the folks that like Judas Priest and the folks that like Korn, so they most of the kids up there kind of gave us the deer in the headlight stare, but it went okay. It wasn't bad.
Deer in the headlight stare, I like that. Well, some young kids, they don't know what really rocks these days, so
we're trying. We're trying to convert them, that's for sure.
And I think you will. Well, the new album is Last Man Standing, and a damn good one, I might add, is definitely Rock Hard Radio and Jeff the Music Man approved. Where can people pick up the record?
You can pick up the record at BroadHorizonRecords.com. You can pick it up at Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby. I think that's about it.
Okay.
I can think of off the top of my head, but we're out there. I mean, if you want to find it, just get on the net and you will find it.
All right, the website is themightyswine.com. Of course, facebook.com/The Mighty Swine. And the Mighty Swine is also on Twitter. So you people that are on social media, check him out. Add him as a friend. You won't be disappointed, and get yourself a copy of the Mighty Swine CD. Is there anything you want to say in closing, Mike?
Yeah, we appreciate all the support, Jeff. We appreciate all the fans. We're looking forward to meeting a lot of folks that have contacted us via Facebook and such, and we're looking forward to this tour. We're going to have a good time.
All right, kicks off the 10th this Friday in Racine, Wisconsin at the Outhouse. It's the Mighty Swine. I'm going to play a tune off the CD right now. This one's called Two Graves from the Mighty Swine.